We are on the eve of a couple of 100-point Kentucky Derby qualifying prep races, so it's no better time than now to unveil the top five, my Derby top five anyway. And keep in mind, this isn't necessarily who I think are the five likeliest winners, although there are a couple of those that fit the bill. It's more about who I want to bet on the first Saturday in May. So let's go 5-1. To me, the 4 and 5 horses kind of go hand in hand. Let's begin with John Hancock. We'll see him in the Louisiana Derby on Saturday afternoon. Talent-wise, I think he's right there. I do wonder a little bit about how far ultimately he's going to want to go. I know Speech, his older sister, she did just fine going 2 turns, but that was out to a mile and a 16th. I wonder if that's going to be kind of the sweet spot for him. Barnes goes along with that kind of a horse. Now, Barnes, as well as he ran in the San Felipe, there's a part of me that doesn't love the way that he got a little bit short at the very end of the run, and maybe he just happened to run into a superior animal, but the talent is there. If you get out to a mile and a quarter, does it translate, or is he ultimately going to be one of those horses that's best at maybe a 1-turn 7/8, 1-turn mile kind of configuration? Then we get to the top 3, and these are all distance, stamina, sort of pedigrees through and through. The third horse being Sovereignty. His return to the races down at Gulfstream Park was spectacular, especially when you factor in that Bill Mott typically does better with his horses when they get some experience under their belt. You would think that longer will only be better for him. He's also proven at Churchill Downs. Number 2, I would say, is clearly the top as far as the overall quality is concerned, that being Journalism. He was spectacular in his 3-year-old debut. If he runs back to that San Felipe at any point going forward, simply put, he's the likeliest winner of whatever race he's in, whether it be the Kentucky Derby or anything else for these 3-year-olds. But my number 1, maybe it's a little bit foolish, but Burnham Square. I'm not giving up hope just yet. We are so fascinated and fixated on wins, wins, wins. You can't possibly lose and be a good horse. I don't buy that. Burnham Square clearly is a bit of a work in progress. We've heard from Ian Wilkes, his trainer, say, you know what, he's got to put his big boy pants on. He's got to put it all together, and maybe he never will. But he's proven at Churchill Downs. He's run very well there in the past. He's proven at Gulfstream Park. Sounds like we're going to see him coming up in his final prep race in the Bluegrass at Keeneland. And you have to factor in, he doesn't need to win. Just got to accumulate some points to get into the starting gate the first Saturday in May. Distance is going to be his friend. And from a gambling standpoint, Burnham Square is still a horse that I have high expectations for. And if he can get in to this year's Kentucky Derby, I think he has as good a chance as anyone. Combination of distance, combination of proven over that surface down at Churchill Downs. So as we send it to Mike Joyce and Gabby Gaudet, guys, maybe this is going to look foolish after the Bluegrass if Burnham Square doesn't lift a hoof, but I'm not giving up hope. I remain hopeful that Burnham Square can put it all together and be a contender in this year's Kentucky Derby.